Hello Hub City viewers, I'm Tommy G and welcome to Hub City Haunts. I'm going to start out this episode by explaining what we're doing here at McKenzie State Park. Behind me you can see a ridge line that back in 1986 in September of that year, I was running across this way, found myself running all the way down this direction to this road. And I stopped right there at this road, and across the way you can see where that tree line is at. Well, I saw and witnessed something or somebody waving me down. It was real white. This is like 1:30 in the morning on Saturday night. The moon was out. There was no mistaking that I saw something there. I don't know what it was. I just knew that I was scared and I decided to run. And I ran down this road till I got to the end of this other road at Broadway. And what's strange and eerie about that scenario is that there was a man that drove that way to pick me up. He picked me up, and I got in the car, and he asked if everything was okay, and I was like, no, something just really strange happened. I just want to get out of here. I'm trying to get across town somewhere. And he asked me, just point blank asked me, you saw her, didn't you? I didn't know what to say. I just remember looking at him and going, yeah, I saw her, I saw something. So that's why we're here today. Here at McKenzie State Park was one of the first times that I had a strange encounter with something that I knew at that point was probably paranormal. It wasn't natural. It could have been somebody messing with me across the way there. It could have been someone messing with me at the middle of the night at 1:30 or so in the morning. It just happened to be coincidental that I was here for them to mess with. I don't know, but I know that I couldn't stick around to find out. So what I'm going to do is turn it around and give you a better view of what it was I was looking at that day. The direction anyway. So straight ahead is where I was looking. And right across the way there is where I'm not sure near that ridge line to the right is where I saw whatever it was waving me down, telling me to, it wasn't like I could read minds or they could yell at me, but there was more like giving me the come on over. And I didn't. Instead I left down this road and I ran down that direction where that car's going. And I ended up going there. There's a stretch of road across that way called Broadway, and that's where I caught that ride with that man that night. So now that you got an idea of where I was at that day and what I was doing, we're gonna head over there into that tree line. I've already got my daughter and her boyfriend over there recording right now. They're using a high 8mm camera just to get some daytime video, and they're using a voice recorder just to see if we can get, to get that communication going on, whatever it is we thought we saw, what we might have seen. And when I say we, I mean me. I was the only one out here. I'm telling you, I must have been, God, I was 15 or 16. And let me give you the backstory behind why I was here at about 1 or 1:30 in the morning. So back on that way, which is the east side of Lubbock, I was at a party. And I had this terrible habit of when I was young that I would get to a certain point of inebriation or intoxication that I would just take off. I didn't drive, I would take off, I would run, go somewhere, I head to a different direction, and I did. And so in that, I found myself coming down McKenzie State Park, and that's how I ended up right here. So for the past 25, 30 plus years or whatever, I've had this discussion and this story. And I've got many other stories that I'm going to share as this channel develops. But that's how I ended up right here, and in that situation, in that scenario where I witnessed whatever it was. A little bit more detail of what I think I saw. It was white. It looked like clothes were floating back and forth, maybe like a big sheet, but more like a gown. But it was so far away across the pond there, I couldn't see it clearly. I didn't try to. I almost feel like I saw other entities or spirits or bodies behind it. I just remember running and leaving. So now today we're here to just to recap it, just to get that first video in for my YouTube channel, Hub City Hauntings. And I sure would appreciate those likes and those of you that can subscribe. I will tell you now that the intentions are to go not just to abandoned buildings or houses, but I want to go to locations of where people lost their lives in car wrecks or car accidents. You know how you drive down the road and you see crosses on the side of the road? You know, people leaving memorials for those lost and loved ones that they have. That's where I want to go and spend a few minutes at a time. I'll probably be posting, at least right now, once a month. It could turn into once a week as I continue to build the team. This may get a lot more complicated and it may be a lot more interesting for you all, but for now this is as good as it's going to get today. So enjoy the scenery. It's beautiful. It's windy. It's got a little dirt flowing, but before I came out here today at this point in time to take this video, it was super nice. There was no wind and it was just perfect standstill weather. But welcome to West Texas. Welcome to Hub City. Changes on an instant. Also, what I think I'd like to do with this opportunity and with Hub City Hauntings is to maybe not so much go exploring by myself to see what I can uncover, but maybe bring people with me. Just have, you know, some friends or family or couples, people that I may or may not know, join me on an experience to get the first time effect that I'm going to get when I encounter whatever it is that we encounter. Because clearly we're seeking one thing, and that's a connection with the paranormal. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to flip the video, show you where we're headed, and let you see what we're doing in terms of other recordings and audio and video. Hold on. So right now I'm headed more closer to that location that was the experience we had that evening, that night, that late Saturday night. And just straight ahead you can see the edge of the water, that broken tree over the edge of the water. This is where it was that I saw whatever it was that I saw. And like I said, the moon was bright. And there's that road that leads straight across to the Broadway. And the moon was lit up at McKenzie Park that night. I remember that, and I remember right here, just right past this tree, over here on the edge, this is where I saw it. This is where I witnessed. And this freaking this frisbee post here wasn't here, and that's probably not how you pronounce whatever it is, but this wasn't here at the time. And there you can see some LJ and Xavier with some other equipment. This is about where I was, straight across that way. And right here's whatever it was I saw was, well, right here is where it was, waving me back. I mean, right here on this edge. And I won't ever forget it. I'm in my 50s these days, but this happened when I was about 16. and I haven't forgotten it. Plus, like I said, guys, there's some other instances that I've got to share in this amazing life that I've had so far, with all its ups and downs. It is what it is. And there's still stuff to do, and still things to uncover that we're going to do. And I hope that you all come along and enjoy it. Remember to subscribe and to like this channel. This is the first video, and it's only going to get more interesting, because I promise you, once I dive into something clear-headed, full, with the full intentions to make it work, this is going to be something fun to do. And I want you along for the ride if you can help join me in it. But this is the place. This is where it all happened. And all those years ago. So join me in whatever we encounter and whatever we do going forward. It's going to be great. It's going to be fun, at least. If nothing else, it'll be something for you to do and like or dislike. But let me hear from you. Comment all you can. If you got any experiences around here and you happen to be from the area, share it with us, and we'll take it from there. But that's going to be it. Thanks for viewing, Hub City viewers. Appreciate you. Till next time.